there's anything you walk away with today's presentation, it is recovery. And the reason why I say that is because a few years ago I picked up a book called Nutrition Time. And the reason I did that is because, like we talked about, I knew that there were certain times a day that our body actually functions best on the type of nutrition that we put in it. And I knew for our gymnasts that was really important because their hours, I mean, we all know they wake up in the morning, you're able to feed them a breakfast. They go to school. You pack them a snack, do they eat it? Sometimes they don't. Lunchtime, usually depending on what level they are, if they're staying at school for lunch, you may get a good lunch from them. If you're picking them up because they're now in a 1 o'clock practice, then it's rushing, eating in the car, you know, and then you're hurrying, shoving food down that way. So how great is it? It depends on the day. So I knew that there were ways that we were going to have to be very focused, like certain things I definitely wanted to focus on, and that was, okay, getting them a protein and carbohydrate before practice, making sure I fed them something small during practice, even if that was pieces of fruit, an apple, grapes, like I mentioned, the protein bites, and then recovery. In this book, it gave me a study that I read, and it was mind-blowing. And quickly, just to kind of explain what this talked about is, it says, it did a study on athletes who did a 3-1 carbohydrate to protein snack after. Okay, that can be, and if you research this, you're going to find a lot about how milk plays an important role in that 3-1. Chocolate milk is a 3-1 ratio. You can do Greek yogurt and some type of berries, or Greek yogurt. Most of the time, Greek yogurt and a little granola is a 3-1 ratio. A banana with peanut butter is at 3-1. But it was saying that those athletes who, within 45 minutes of practice, gave their body that 3-1 ratio, recovered 300 times faster. Now, to me, that was huge, because when I was starting to look at this is at the point where my oldest daughter was in the gym 5 days a week. She didn't get a day between for recovery. And if you even look at like the major bodybuilders, they will work super hard on one body part one day, and guess what? They rest the next. Even if they're doing something light, they're resting that body part that they worked really hard. Well, gymnastics doesn't do that. I mean, it's go, go, go on the body. So I was like, okay, if I know that by giving my kid and teaching these gymnasts how important that 45 minutes, providing their body with that piece of nutrition could help their body recover 300 times faster before less than a 24-hour practice comes around, I mean, to me, that's what I'm saying. This is huge. I get the, what happens if we go straight home and eat and you live around the corner? Lucky you is all I can say. Because then eat your dinner. Give them a nice Greek portion of protein, a lot of vegetables, and about half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of some type of grain. And they're perfect. You don't need to worry about that. But the majority of the people I talk to don't make it home within 45 minutes, because either they're waiting for the other sister who's on the other level who doesn't get done till an hour and a half later, or they're waiting, or they're going to pick up, like I mentioned earlier, the other sibling who's in a different sport, or you actually drive 45 minutes to get to gym, which I find a lot of families do a lot of driving for their gyms. You're not meeting that need. And so this is what I'm saying. Picking up your kids with some type of snack, providing the shake that I mentioned earlier before practice, after practice is perfect. And also, it's not heavy on their stomach after practice either, because a lot of them are saying, I'm not hungry. They gotta eat something. That is one rule in my house. You must eat something after practice. And I don't mean something like the bag of chips in the snack bin. I'm saying like that 3-1. And I teach them. I'm like, okay, you guys know the difference. One of my daughters wanted some hummus. Absolutely. Hummus is a great protein. Hummus, and you can do carrot sticks. You can do celery. I don't even mind. Pop chips are a fun little healthy option chip. You know, sometimes you're like, I just want a couple chips. Sure, do a couple chips with your carrots and your hummus. You know, like there's some definitely ways of kind of compromising with some of these things that they want. But this, I mean, I'm telling you guys, it is so important. How many of you are actually being able to get a meal in within 45 minutes? Well, that's more than I expect. That's good. And you guys are prepared? Like you already have the meal ready when they get home?
I agree.
Backtrack then. Because I'm like, that's like, I mean, yeah, if you're getting home within 45 minutes and you've got it cooked or you're cooking, awesome. But if not, just provide them with something small. Something small, if you're going home and cooking, say, here, eat this on the way home, or get home real quick, give them that ratio of your homework while I'm cooking dinner, you know, and get that going. But at least you've given their body. And I'll kind of give you a little bit of science behind this theory, is when the body works out, the cells, I'll explain it to you like I explained to the kids. When you work out, your cells kind of go dormant. They fall asleep. They just close up. It's our body's way of kind of just focusing on the stress of the workout and not so much on absorbing nutrients or anything like that. So in order to wake up our cells, we need a carbohydrate. That carbohydrate goes in, wakes up the cells. Now the cells are awake and they're open, and guess what? Now they're pulling in nutrients and they're pulling in protein. This starts to heal the ripped muscles that happen every day in practice. In order to build, you have to rip and tear apart, and then it rebuilds. So it's starting to pull in that nutrition. When I tell the kids, guess what? When you eat a bag of Doritos after practice, that's a carbohydrate. You're opening up the cells, but then what are you pulling in to start healing those cells, to rebuild those cells, to allow those cells to start to getting strong? The muscle cells are actually what I mean, any cell, but mainly focusing on a muscle cell. You know, Doritos, you're pulling in Doritos. So it's just that visual to them is sometimes really helpful, especially for the older ones, who actually understand and maybe learn about muscle cells in school. So here's some other options we already discussed that would be great for a recovery. Oh, there's my huge, listen to me. Let me say it one more time, but I think you guys were listening, and I think you get it. Everyone, you know, it's so important to make sure they recover their bodies properly. And here's what I'll explain. There's a study I'm going to explain to you guys about the recovery process also, and I'll explain on that one. When they work out, so this slide kind of shows different things that cause oxidative stress. Hopefully we're not dealing with the smoking or whatever, or the alcohol. But guess what? We all are exposed to pesticides in our environment. Excessive exercise times 1,000 with these kids. Air pollutants, diet, stress. You know, it's finals week. You know these kids are stressed. Now they go in and exercise with stress. So all of these things cause free radicals in our body. And free radicals cause havoc on our body. They cause our body inflammation. They allow our immune system to get depressed, and now we're getting sick easier. So the reason why I think you've got to make sure you're getting those fruits and vegetables in is because those are what are going to go in and neutralize those antioxidants, or those free radicals, because they have antioxidants in them. Those are your vitamin C. Vitamin C is a great antioxidant. That banana with peanut butter after practice has vitamin C in it. It's going to allow those free radicals to start becoming neutralized. This is also where it is super important to kind of start considering where Juice Plus would fit in your guys' diet, where it would fit into your family, and where, like, who would probably benefit the most from it. I'm a strong believer that everyone benefits from it, but I'm also a realistic person with what fits in a budget. So this is where I kind of talk one-on-one with people and say, okay, give me a list of what we're dealing with. For long story short, it's easy for me to talk about my family. I can't talk about other families. So my oldest daughter, it was a must 2 years ago, and it has been life-changing. I mean, we haven't seen her this healthy in the last 2 years. It's been amazing for her. But it is going in, and like I said, she's the body that gets stressed. She's the kid that anyone has a stuffy nose in the gym, she's sick for a week. And I'm telling you, she doesn't just get the stuffy nose, she gets the flu. I've never seen someone get the flu so many times in my life. You know, she doesn't just get, it just takes her out. So that, I'm not saying that she still doesn't get a cold here and there, and she still doesn't get sick, but guess what? Now it's a 2-day not feeling good instead of the whole week out of gym and out of school and everything else. So it's just interesting to talk with you on a one-on-one basis about your family, and, you know, okay, maybe one person needs it most. Because the Juice Plus comes in a capsule. I'll talk about that in a minute. This part here goes over why our servings of fruits and vegetables, what they're needed for a daily amount. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to show you a picture in a minute, but this is basic, everybody, 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables. I'm going to be honest, even with what I know, what fruits and vegetables do for me and how our bodies need them, with our daily schedule, working family, 3 kids, 3 different schools, getting to gym, I mean, that's tough to meet. That's tough to meet. And I feel like it's tougher for our girls to meet because dinner. So there's 4 options right there, and that's hoping we can get them to consume a full serving of fruits and vegetables. And that's not happening. So we're not meeting this. Well, then I found this side right here that really freaked me out. Now, granted, I don't know if we're talking, this I think is an extreme for an adult athlete. I would not say that our 15 on up athletes who are in the gym that 20 plus hours a week wouldn't be considered in this. I would think they would be. But still, I mean, going back to this one, if we know we're not needing this, we're already, our body's in that deficit of what we need. And again, that's where I think this is where the gym has definitely saw a value in offering this to you guys, because it is fruits and vegetables in a capsule, and it's that simple. There is nothing else. I brought containers because I know a lot of people like to actually see the package. They want to read what's in it. One person made a joke one time about how this lady was going so crazy about what was in it, and she's like, I don't believe it. It can't just be fruits and vegetables. It can't be just fruits and vegetables. And then we're like, no, it really is. And she's researching and researching. She's like, wow. And then she's like, gosh, I feel so crazy that I literally just went nuts on you about these capsules. But guess what? How often do we really find out what's in our food through McDonald's or through Burger King? You know, like honestly, if we knew what was in those chicken nuggets, which I think has kind of come out lately, it's terrifying, you know. So I don't want you guys to really don't put too much. It is literally fruits and vegetables in a capsule or in a gummy. And then these are kind of list what is put in these fruits and vegetables. Juice Plus farms their own fruits and vegetables. They pick it when it's ripe, they freeze it right away, and then they actually take it and turn it into a powder. Put in the capsule, and that's it. Their gummies are the same way. And the only thing I always tell people, they go, well, what's the difference between the two? Nothing but probiotics. So if you have an athlete or if you can swallow a capsule, I say take the capsule because we all need extra probiotics. That's going to keep your gut healthy. That allows your gut to be able to absorb more nutrients in it. But if you don't have a child that can swallow a capsule, the gummies are a perfect option. My kids think they're candy, and I literally have to put them up because they eat them nonstop. And that's fine. I mean, there is no, it's fruits and vegetables. People always want to know, well, what is the equivalent of Juice Plus? They will not come out and tell you what they feel like it is, but there is a study that was out there that did a comparison between people that ate 10 servings of fruits and vegetables a day and a group of people that ate 5 servings of fruits and vegetables plus the Juice Plus fruit, gummies, fruits and vegetables with them. And both studies' results, lab tests were comparable. So that study allows me to feel like if you're kind of wanting a visual of what servings, that it's a safe bet to say that it falls in that 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. So now we have our Juice Plus a day, and we now get our kids that 4 servings that we talked about that we could sneak into their daily diet, and now we're somewhat in that ballpark that our body says we need.